No, it's
just got it.
That's small.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today, and thanks to Steve Smith for coming along this morning. As always, guys, cameras off and microphones off until such time as I come to you with a question. As we have the last couple of times, we'll raise our hands instead of the chat box. That seems to be an easier process for everyone. So if you have a question, raise your hand, and I'll come to each in order. We'll get underway when we're ready. So I think we've got one here already. Jalissa Apps.
Hi, Steve. I just wanted to get your reaction to Ben's.
Hold on, sorry.
Can you hear us, guys?
I can hear you.
Oh. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys, just got a bit of a technical hitch here. Sorry, Jalissa.
Let's try again.
That's okay. I just wanted to start with the news that Ben Stokes will be playing in the Ashes. Just your reaction to that. Were you expecting him to play?
I honestly hadn't given any real thought to it, but I think it's great that he's now available. Obviously, their summer he missed. I think all the cricket there with some mental health stuff going on. So anytime someone comes back from that, it's a great thing. And we love coming up against the best players. So it's great to see him going to be on the plane.
How much more of a dangerous side are they with him in it?
I think any team's more dangerous when you've got someone like Ben Stokes playing. So it certainly adds a lot to their depth. But like I said, we're excited, and I'm glad personally that he's able to be back playing some cricket. So it makes for a really good series.
Thanks.
Dan Briddick.
G'day, Steve. Question about like a specific element of Ben's issue this year was he had some finger surgery and he couldn't actually get his hand around the bat handle, and he needed second surgery to do that. And that's sort of how he's got to the point that he can play. Like, does that remind you at all? I know you talked about your wrist, or sorry, not your wrist, your elbow back in early 2019, and you had a period there where if you can't physically do what you used to doing, the game can feel like a long way away. Is that how you felt then?
Yeah, of course. It's never comfortable when you're going through, some pain out in the middle. I think Kane Williamson's probably one that's going through it at the moment. I think he's got some tennis elbow stuff that I had earlier this year going on, and it's not a very comfortable place to be in. So, yeah, when you can't fulfill your duties the way you'd like to, the way you normally would, it's never ideal. So, glad that Stokes has been able to get his finger sorted, and I saw some footage of him the other day back batting. So, good signs.
And just one for you in terms of the 2020 role that you're playing at this tournament. When you sort of come in, I mean, I suppose the expectation is like most of the time might be sort of after the first 6 overs, after the power play. Is your aim to kind of maintain the level of run rate, I suppose, that the team has got once you've come in? Like, how do you look at it as a sort of a middle order role you've got?
Yeah, it's a little bit different to what I've played previously, but my job's basically to fix it if our top order don't come off, build a partnership with whoever I'm batting with at that stage, and then if our top order do go well, the likelihood is I'll slide slightly down the order and let our big, strong boys go out and attack it. So that's essentially my role. I think I've done it pretty well in the first couple of trial games and our first game against South Africa. So I know what I need to do. The rest of the team knows my role. I think we're all very clear on the way we all want to play. So that clarity is there. It's just about going and doing it. I don't think we did it as well as we would have liked the other day, but fortunately we snuck over the line against South Africa, which was I think a big game for us.
Thank you.
Andrew McGlashan.
Thanks, Cole. Hey, Steve, just to follow up what Dan was asking about your elbow, how's it been the last couple of months since you've been back in action? And have you had to modify anything you do around the game? You're obviously famous for how much batting you like to do outside of match situations. Has any of that had to change for you?
Yeah, I've basically the last little bit with IPL and training even before that, I've tried to bat every second day. Or not bat basically 3 days in a row. So just to take a bit of load off. But on the days I'm batting, I'm batting for basically as long as I really want to, which is nice. So it was just a progression, really. You know, I know back a few months ago, I was only allowed to bat for 10 minutes and then it went to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I worked my way up to 45 minutes in the nets. And at that point, it was kind of, it was back to basically normal, and I could sort of carry on with my business. But I'm still taking it easy at the moment, just making sure I'm only batting two days in a row, or not 3 days in a row. And I'll build up again as we get closer to playing some longer format stuff.
I was going to ask about that transition into Test cricket. Is there any slight unknown for you in terms of how obviously clearly you would like to bat for a day and a half in a Test match from next month? Is there any slight uncertainty about how that might go?
No, I don't think so. I think it's in a good place. It feels really good. Continuing with my strength work and rehab stuff. So I feel like I'm going well, and progressing along nicely. So I've got no real concerns. And
if I can just throw a quick one in about conditions that you guys are facing out there at the moment. What did you make of the conditions in that game against South Africa? And I guess we've seen a variety of ways matches have played out in this tournament so far, but are you thinking it'll be more like that sort of quite hard work batting as the tournament goes on?
I'd suggest that could be the case. Yeah. I think you've just got to sum up the conditions on any given day. Even throughout the IPL playing on these wickets, there was a lot of really scrappy cricket, not huge scores, which made the games pretty interesting and quite close, which is exciting as well. So slightly different to a lot of, T20 cricket that you would play. Quite often you see just flat wickets, big scores, and guys just going about their business. So you have to change slight ways you need to play and adapt according to what the surface is required, or what's required on that surface. So it's been interesting so far. I don't think the other day 120 whatever it was against South Africa was indicative of the surface. I think both teams just bowled and fielded really well and probably didn't bat very well, but I do think we're going to play we're going to see plenty of scrappy cricket in this tournament.
Thanks, Steve.
Sure.
Louis Cameron.
Hey, Steve. Just given what you've said just there, I guess, does it kind of make your skill set, I guess, maybe being a craftier player, not necessarily a power hitter? Tell me if I'm characterising you incorrectly there, mate. But does it make those skills more important through the middle than if you were just playing on really flat pitches?
I think sometimes, yeah. I think you need ability to be able to get off strike and manipulate the ball to certain areas, more than just the power. Some of these wickets, even the powerful blokes have struggled to hit sixes. So you need some, I guess, some smarts about you in the middle and playing the situation and just having the ability to, I guess, limit dot balls and get off strike. And for me, my role, that's pretty simple, but it depends who I'm batting with as well. It's about batting in partnership. So if I'm batting with a Glenn Maxwell, my job's to get him on strike and let him go about his business. And then same with some of the other stronger guys. So it's just about summing up the situation and what's happening on with the surface and in the game and playing accordingly, really.
And I guess you would have seen the Sri Lanka-Bangladesh game the other night, obviously with Sri Lanka coming up. What did you make of that, first of all? And is there a bit of a sense that you've ended up in a pretty difficult group, given those two teams are pretty well-established sides?
Yeah, I think they can both be dangerous on these surfaces as well. I thought Sri Lanka's chase the other day was very good. If you look at, for instance, the IPL scores on that Sharjah surface, I don't think anyone got above 140. So to be able to chase down, firstly for Bangladesh to get 170, but then for Sri Lanka to chase it down, it was a pretty good effort. So look, there's no easy games in this tournament, that's for sure. There's plenty of strength out there, and on any given day, people can have a day out and take a game, I guess, away from you. So makes the tournament really exciting, and we're going to have to play really well in a couple of days' time against Sri Lanka.
Thanks, Steve. That's great.
Sam Joden.
Hi, Steve. Hope you're going well, mate. Just returning to the news on Ben Stokes. As a fellow cricketer, is there, I guess for want of a better word, is there some kind of sense of pride or pleasure or satisfaction in the fact that, he made the decision to step away and put his health first, and the fact that he's, now able to return?
Yeah, look, I think we've seen it a lot more now. The acceptance of people when they're not doing well mentally. So look, credit to Ben for being able to make that decision and step away for a bit and make sure he's right to go out and play and live his life. There's more out there sometimes than just the game of cricket. So for him to be able to make that decision to step away, it's I think, and for the acceptance from the ECB and everyone involved, I think that's really important for people going forward. That's for sure.
For sure. Thanks, Steve.
We'll go to 7 News. I assume that's you, Macca.
Hey, Cole. Hey, Steve. It's Matt Carmichael here. Hope you're going well. We're excited about Ben Stokes, Steve. Sorry. It's good. I think it's good news. The bit of chat out of England that it took Tim Payne saying, if you don't want to come, don't come, and it stirred him up a bit. Do we applaud the Aussie captain for his banter, or are you surprised it takes something like that to fire them up and make them want to come out?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I guess it was always their decision whether they wanted to come out or not. So, we'd love to have all the best players there playing in an Ashes series. That's what it's about for an Australian or an English cricketer. It's the main tournament in the long format of the game for us. So, we're excited about this summer coming up. Looking forward to seeing some crowds back in Australia and hopefully having a really successful summer of cricket.
Thanks, mate. And just from watching Rashid and Majid bowling in the T20 World Cup last night, doesn't look like the test match is going to happen, but how much would you like to face those two guys in a test match? Yeah, look, it'd be challenging for sure. We've seen those guys around the world in so many domestic tournaments doing really well. So look, they're class bowlers. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you, mate. Thanks, Cole.
No worries, Matt. Thanks. Back to Jalissa. Jalissa?
Steve, it's been pretty lean at the top of the order. Aaron Finch in particular is struggling a bit. How's he going, and can you see any changes happening there in terms of team selection?
I wouldn't think so, but look, I think the guys are working extremely hard. Sometimes T20 cricket's a bit like that. You can go on a run of outs, and then you play a couple of good shots and you're away, and you get into your innings and you can get on a bit of a roll. So we've got plenty of faith in the guys at the top of the order. They're experienced. They've done the job for many years, and even Davey the other day, I thought he looked exceptionally sharp out in the middle, playing against Rabada and Nortkia. His feet were moving really well. He had some beautiful shots, and those guys are working hard. So I've no doubt they'll turn it around.
You've got a couple of guys waiting in the wings, particularly someone like Josh Inglis, who's impressed overseas. Do you think it's a case though that you'll pick and stick while you're winning? Wouldn't
have a clue. I'm afraid that's not my job to pick the team. But yeah, I think in T20 cricket, I think if you get some continuity and, you know, guys are very clear in their roles, it certainly helps from a mental point of view when you're going out to play. So that's just my personal opinion, but, you know, we'll wait and see.
Thank you.
Dan Breddick.
Steve, just one about, I suppose, that transition from white ball cricket into test cricket, because you had a similar thing last year, and it looked like, you know, took you a little while to get into that test series against India. Have you reflected much on that period last year, and is there anything you're going to be able to do differently or better, I suppose, to, I guess, hit the ground running at the Gabba this time?
I think it'll just be hitting plenty of balls in the lead up. There's really not too much else we can do in the times of this pandemic. It's been you know, pretty limited to what we can do in forms of playing any longer form of cricket. So I think we're going to be having some really good solid centre wickets and training sessions where I know our fast bowlers will be firing up, getting themselves ready for the series as well. So there'll be no shortage of quality practice. And yeah, I'm excited by the summer. Like I said earlier, an Ashes summer's, you know, the pinnacle for an Australian and English cricketer. So can't wait to get out there.
Does it come down a bit to, you know, I suppose, if you can't play those red ball games, like mental preparation, visualization, just your mindset, things like that?
Yeah, I think it certainly makes a difference. You know, I'm doing that all the time, regardless of, you know, whether I'm playing heaps of cricket or just training anyway. So, yeah, I think it's just getting yourself in a really good mindset to go out and perform.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. That looks like that was the last one, guys. So thanks again for joining this morning, and thanks to Steve Smith for coming along and having a chat. We'll catch up with all you guys in the next day or so. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Cole.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Cole.
Thank you.
Guys.